Let's analyze together what's happening with NIO. But first of all, guys, remember to read the disclaimer right here and in the video description below. We have some breaking news about this stock. Not only this stock actually, but all Chinese linked stocks, because it's completely crazy. We're talking about like all the stocks from China that are going up because this is important. We have the People's Bank of China has lower interest rates by 50 basis points. So that means, normally when an economy after experiencing a recession, we have the central bank doing that type of move, normally it creates like an uptrend. We saw it in the past in the ECB or the Fed. When they do that after a recession, it creates a huge stimulus. And in this case, and look at that, what happened with NIO, because it's going up like crazy. We're talking about, in this case, from $4 to today we have 6.55 plus 81% in a very short period of time. So that's huge. But the most important thing, and I gotta tell you guys, when we talk about if it's a good, uptrend or not, look at the RSI and the MACD. It's completely crazy. We have two bullish divergences right here. We're watching right now the price action of NIO at the top, and then we have the MACD. Actually, this is the RSI, the one in the blue. And then we have the MACD below. We have two bullish divergences in these indicators, as you can see. The price completely stopped at around the $4. And we are talking about a daily chart. Even if we go to the weekly chart, we could clearly see the same thing, completely a little bit different, obviously, because we're talking about different levels. But look at that. Two bullish divergences, maybe not in the MACD in the weekly chart, but here the RSI, you can clearly see it. But the daily chart, I would say, is kind of reliable in that sense, because we're talking about a long-term indicator. And right now, the key question here is whether stock is going to continue to go up or not. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. Join us the conversation. Join us and follow the Trading HT channel, Honest Trading. Very important right now, the key moment of NIO, because if we take into consideration what happened in the past, obviously it was a carriage. You can clearly see, right, the stock went down. Wow, you had to activate the logarithmic scale in order to see something. But the thing here is, like, we are still in the downturn territory, even though the stock is going up. But look at that, look at these green candles that we have right here. It all began back in April 2024, and then right here in September again. But this is huge in comparison to the previous one. But look at that, the downturn that we've been experiencing. So obviously there is a long way to go. We're talking about the stock went down minus 94% since those highs back in January 2024. But the situation right now is kind of better. It's kind of better in comparison to what we've suffered. In that sense, if the economy of China starts to grow again, they could have an opportunity, even though they could still make a negative net income. And actually, let's take a look at the fundamentals right here. Because as you can see, the problem with NIO, it's always been that problem. It's like they never made the profits ever in one quarter. So that's a difficult situation, and that's one of the reasons the stock went down like crazy. But right now, it's very important, that if the China's economy recovers, NIO could experience like a huge chapter at this point, even though they are making like a negative net income. Because the stimulus is the stimulus, and the economy is resurging after a huge crisis, because they had like a 2-year recession when we're talking about China. They could have an opportunity, and normally buying at these levels are the best ones, So, and actually I remember I don't trade individual stocks, but I trade ETFs, and I have ETFs, China ETFs, China-based ETFs, because I thought, wow, after a recession, 2 years, it's a long way to go. I mean, it's the second biggest economy in the world. They should research again. It's like, it's something that I had in mind when I was analyzing Chinese stocks, and I thought, wow, after in buying Chinese stocks at these levels, kind of huge, because before they were like in a completely different territory, completely overboard. But right now it's like the contrary, it's the oversold. So that's an important key factor. Also, we have right here the most popular stocks on Wall Street, and you can clearly see, because we are watching right now here, Alibaba at the top. Again, very similar to look at to NIO. It's like, look at that, we have an upturn of again from $89 right now, and we're talking about the 5-day chart. If we go to the year-to-date chart, look at that. Alibaba experiencing the same thing as NIO. It's completely crazy. So obviously we had to think about what it could happen next, but obviously this is very optimistic in that sense. NIO still has a long way to go in comparison to the price that it was before at the beginning of the year, but you know it's kind of recovering those lost levels in the past, so it's kind of huge. Also, let's take a look at the forecast, because the forecast of NIO, and it's gonna surprise you, because right now everything is being updated by Wall Street analysts, and the situation right now we have like an average. You know, it should be trading around these levels, according to these 30 analysts from Wall Street. The most optimistic one, we're talking about like the stock should go up, according to that person, plus 52%. The most pessimistic one, minus 38%. But the most interesting information that we have right here on the screen is the annual estimates. Look at that. The annual estimate of 2024 is like kind of better than the previous one. If we have this, if this comes to reality, it is justified, that the stock is going up, because obviously we are talking about better levels than the previous year. And also, if we go to the quarterly, it's like the situation, it's still there. We're talking about that this third quarter, we have like an estimate of minus 0.31. Very similar to the previous quarter. But investors that are buying right now NIO is not because of this, but because of the forecast that we have for 2025, 2024 is even, when we analyze this, no, 2024, yeah, and 2026, look at that, the numbers are getting better according to the estimate, of course. And this is the thing, buying at these levels in the worst moment, like when nobody wants to buy it, can be like the best opportunity to do it. It's something that you need to consider. Obviously, and there are sometimes situations when this is not the case. When we're talking about stocks, for instance, let's see, minus, we have here a reported of minus 1.53 in 2023. Imagine that in 2024, minus 2. Obviously, it's difficult to see a stock, having like a huge uptrend. In the data is worse, in terms of fundamentals. Obviously, we have the market crisis and everything else on the side, on the sidelines. That can create another market event. But when we're talking about the fundamentals only, we have to think about the future, the present, the future, even your coming years, not only the next year, because you have to analyze if they are gonna make it or not. Are they gonna improve the numbers? Look at what happened with Tesla. With Tesla, nobody thought Tesla was going to do it, really great at the beginning, in the first years, but then it's like the numbers started to improve, and it created a huge opportunity for those who bought the stock at that particular point. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Remember to subscribe to Trading HT. Welcome to the Trading Honest Trading Show. We talk about the most popular stocks from Wall Street. See you in the next video.